Hello and welcome back to Europe in an Italian Minute. Today we're going to start a series of regular discussions, intermittent, and when we'll talk about them, having to do with what are the narratives that we have in Italy about Italy's position in Europe and Europe's position with Italy. And we're going to start with perhaps the dominant one for most of the post-war period, and that is the story of Italy as a good European at the heart of Europe. This is a story that goes all the way back to the interwar period and the birth of Europe in the immediate post-war period with figures like Alcide de Gasperi, Spinelli, and so on. And the story here is that it's impossible to imagine a united Europe without Italy. Italy is the cradle of Roman civilization. It's the cradle. The Roman Empire was one of the roots of the idea of a united Europe. And then medieval Europe, based on Christianity and the role of the church, again placed Italy at the center of the idea of Europe. So the idea that Italy is a good European is not something new, but it certainly became part of Italy's post-war republic and post-war politics. You would not find a politician in Italy until very recently who would challenge the idea that Italy didn't belong right at the center of Europe, shaping the future of a united Europe and pushing for a United States of Europe. And Italy as a good European is often presented as Italy as one of those block of countries that are always pushing for more Europe. And by more Europe, we're meaning perhaps creating some kind of political union. Now, who supports this idea? Who has supported this idea? We found this clearly in the 1950s and in the 1960s, the governing parties of the Christian Democrats and so on. But over time, the Italian left has embraced this idea. And today in Italian politics, it's probably the left that looks to Italy at the heart of Europe and Italy as a good European as the centerpiece for how we should govern Italy and how Europe should be governed. Now, what has this meant in practice? In practice, we see mixed results because Italy as a good European means that it's often been on the side of wanting to strengthen European institutions, but its record perhaps on implementing European policy hasn't always been as coherent with its position in terms of creating a closer Europe. Now, that idea of Europe as at the heart of Italy and Italy's post-war social and economic and political reconstruction has run into problems in recent years and is no longer hegemonic or no longer has a monopoly on political debate. Over the next few months, we'll talk about some of the other narratives that have emerged, some of them that support this idea of Europe as at the heart of Italy and Italy at the heart of Europe, but more recently we'll want to understand why that idea of Europe, Italy as a good European is no longer hegemonic and is challenged by other kinds of narratives. And this development has serious consequences clearly for what kind of Europe we will have if we lose one of the allies that has always pushed for more Europe. If Italy is no longer a good European, what will that mean for the future of Europe? So please come back, and in the future we'll take a look at some of these other narratives. Arrivederci.